Wow, what a day we've had. What a great way to end.
Good morning, everybody. I'm starting to chirp a little bit. The warm-up is supposed to begin today.
Fabulous trade.
Yesterday it was still a bit cold, but we didn't deal with
failure to extend
30 to 45 mile-an-hour winds. We were dealing with 15
and
to
our first buy was off to 75.
Perhaps life will get good this week.
What we have right now is an outside day.
Forecast to
and
be in the 80s.
Means trading range.
No moisture.
Had enough buying to take it higher, but not hold
drought.
Those guys
is extending from the west to the east.
Selling to go lower.
The hardwood
couldn't hold
red
lower.
winter wheat crop
come
is
back
stressed.
in. We were looking for a close in the 78, 79 area. Right now,
as the year progresses, if we don't start getting some
the
rains,
F1 screen says trading range.
Today is the usually the biggest news day of the month.
F2 screen.
Sometimes the FOMC announcement will take precedence if.
It's kind of all over the map. We've got a double distribution.
The Fed's on autopilot.
I think the theme that you'll see in both of these splits is that
everybody thought that they would cut.
Could be into the week,
into April
liquidation.
Then they would see what the March and April
economic the upside this morning.
If
could be some light
April economic
hard to say because we didn't really break the market and we didn't spill hard. My guess is
they would stop
and people will come back and take a look at
and leave we stand $45 billion
next week.
per month support for the markets in place.
Here's our B pattern.
The other thing to consider today is that the Bureau of Labor Statistics, like all good bureaucrats, do not want
and right now it looks
wrath
like we're probably going to close this
of their superiors or the administration. It makes life difficult for them.
Which was our guess.
So they tend to put the best possible foot forward. And they don't
extend
like
the market
also
down to the downside.
The heads of the
couldn't take it lower.
BLS now are political appointees, which
trouble
historically is much different than it has been in the past.
My guess
so
is that we've had long liquidation
than they have been, but
so where are we come Monday after
the books?
Today's news, my guess is we're probably going to have another trading range on Monday,
and that being
we'll probably have a seller
part of the news too. When you look at the structure right
80,
now,
82 area,
potentially have a saddle formation where the market needs to fill volume
85, 87
between say 124, 8 to 10.
On buy side, this morning we said we'd hope to be able to buy the 70, 72 area.
So this is the area where the market needs
70,
volume.
72.
It's between these two volume nodes, and we
have
an attractor.
67, where I'm most comfortable getting long. So
right down here at 12 and a half.
I had to pick my spot. I'd like to see the
80, 12 area is probably pretty good support.
Then I'd move my buy down to 65.
And the 20 to 24 area is probably pretty good resistance if
there's so much stuff going on these days in everybody's government, everybody's central bank. So
the note and the 30-year have been really strong. I mean, we have pushed up. The
hard to know what to do for long periods
30 years
of time
at 6-month highs. The knob spread did come in from 11 on yesterday's close.
And it really, enhances
10.29, 10.30 this morning.
And we don't have to make a commitment for 2, 3, 4, 5,
been some light profit taking. As the market has rallied, there's been a lot of put protection taken. So if the numbers come in below forecast, then
looking at the note,
liquidating your puts.
Again, we have an outside day here with a very strong close. This market was all over, but the knob spread got stronger.
The unemployment numbers higher than forecast. The puts will probably stay in place just as insurance. A lot of the big institutions back in the old days used to protect themselves with futures.
To strengthen the
now,
financials.
A lot of it's done in the put market. They can put a certain amount of money up. They can buy the insurance that they need.
Financial instability,
and get on down
surprise someplace.
So today is a news day. They're looking for
government
215 non-farm payroll, 213 private.
Our economy is not as strong as everybody is.
Unemployment at 6.6. That's an improvement from last month.
That it is.
Compensation plus 2/10. Hourly earnings.
Right now, we're at 21 and a half. I think over the weekend, pretty easy
to
trade.
Look at this number to confirm the unemployment numbers above. And then factory orders at plus 1.4. So,
and on the buy side, if the E-mini shows weakness over the weekend, the buy area is going to be 17. to 21s. I'd like to buy it a little cheaper, so we're going to start out
and
trying to
if
buy
you know the
13s,
news,
17s.
then you've got the trade. Now, we recommend a newsday trade on this. If you're going, if you do feel very, very confident that you know the news, you want to take a shot, trade less size, you have to put that position on before the news announcement.
Which I have
That's
compressed.
the only shot you have at a half point to a full point on the note, and a full point plus on the 30-year. But the trading technique that we developed over the years is let the news hit.
Very low winds.
You'll get whatever reaction you get.
To have the wind blowing.
Enter the market on the first
45
correction.
miles an hour, which is
And then
typical
if the
of
market
October,
doesn't extend the range,
November
exit the
here,
trade.
and then
this
March.
requires a nimbleness
Not
that a
so
lot of
much
beginners
wind.
don't have, and there is extra
we have a
risks in this because you have poor
double
trade
distribution
location.
higher. We've got a seller
You're
definitely
buying
above
momentum,
28.
and the market has to continue
Right
the
now we're
direction
close
you're
to
out.
21.5.
The other way to
so
have it
probably
is just
24,
let the
28.
market do its thing. Let it
And
settle down.
Basically 125, 125.04
And trade
for
development.
sell too. I'd like to buy
And on
cheaper,
the,
so we're going to make 17.
10-year, it's
to,
plus or minus
13.
230 seconds on
Buy
development
one,
value. On the
sells late this
30-year, it's
afternoon or
plus
gets
or
hit over the
minus,
weekend. Then we're going to be lucky
6
to
to
buy
8.
21s. It's the way it
That's
works.
a good way to trade it too. So
And
it's a
then 5
newsday
to 9
trade.
will be buy two.
We're looking for pretty. The market expects pretty healthy employment
when you
gains.
look at
and if we don't get
how
it,
easy it is to
this
break
market
something,
should
having had a small
rally
business
if
for
the
a
number
long
comes
time.
in higher than expected.
Businesses are
My
fragile.
guess is the
It
market
takes
will get some
years
quick selling,
to
then the
build
issue's
up
going
and
to be
make
like it
something
has
work,
been
and you
since
can
last
come
Wednesday,
in
follow
and
through
destroy
selling
something overnight.
news.
And
Negative news. For
what's
the
going on in
financials. We
Washington,
haven't seen
D.C., these
that.
guys
We're
have
taking
to
a quick look at the bond.
to the traditional way of doing business and what has built this country's success.
The knob spread gave up a
And
little bit last night.
It's taken
in
about
both the 30-year and the 10-year. The
okay,
open interest is
but
in
they
puts,
were getting
it's
worse.
not in calls.
Started really
the greater
under
open
HW.
interest.
Bush
And
with rules
if
and
the
regulations,
news
but it
is
accelerated
favorable
under
or
this administration.
supportive
Anything these administrators
for the
want to do
financials, this will add extra buying pressure
cuts
to the
production,
market as people dump their insurance.
increases costs.
You can see from a volume standpoint that we've got volume
It adds
here,
to the cost of business. It
and
adds
we've got
to the
volume
uncertainty of doing
here,
business. It makes
so
it harder
where does
stay
the
in
market need
business.
volume?
And these people that
It's lower than it
make
is
these
on
rules,
the note.
they've never been.
So
They're
this
not accountable
buying against
for their actions.
135
They
looks
do.
like
They
it
don't have
should
to
have
make
some
the
fairly
bottom line.
reasonable
Their
support in
budgets
the 24 to
are
135
secure
area,
every year, or
and
have
then
been,
looking right
with
here in the 20.
increased budgets every year.
20
and so
to
they
the
really
volume
don't
papers
operate
say 20 to 28 is
the
where
same rules
resistance will
or the
be.
same conditions that we have to operate under.
And you really
in the
can't cut
private
it much with a finer tooth comb.
And I mean,
we
who
have
wouldn't
very,
like to have
very,
a job where you got a raise all the time, indexed inflation, got
potentially
more
market
days off than
moving
anybody
news
else,
coming
weren't held
in,
accountable.
this morning,
and you'd retire.
You just have to give it
with
some
more
room.
money than your
So if you know the news, you got a position before
private
the
sector compatriots. It's
news is announced
pretty
to reap the
fat
benefits
deal.
of knowing that news or thinking that you know it.
So here we are at 9.
We
last rotation stopped
are
at
at
16.
Resistance right here. I mean, you can
12,
see this
16.
28 to 36 area. There's no volume there. We're at a 6-month
Probably looking
high
at a
right
pause
here.
day after what happened today.
And
on
if
the
we
buy
fail to go
side,
through
we're at
it,
9
then
right
some
now.
retracement
So last rotation
would be
down
expected,
stopped
but
at
again,
3
it is a
bracket that.
newsday
Because
trade.
of the knob spread, we'll have to pay up a little bit more in the 30.
Okay, if
buy one
gold,
to 5,
if the number
and then on
comes
buy
in and
two
beats the
side, we'll make it
consensus, and it's
25, 29.
if the number comes in as forecast, the non-farm payroll, or beats it, gold should sell. If it comes in less than forecast, then there's a chance that less people will be going back to work, tax revenues will be lower, print money. Also,
this
things
morning
are heating
in
up
gold,
in Ukraine.
I put an article up. We've talked about it before the news hit.
Back,
watch gold.
one of their cities
pretty good at giving you a
quote-unquote
early indicator
Russian
of what the news is going to be.
Really well dug in.
In New York, they buy
helicopters are being shot down.
There's no
There are
reason
some
to think that they
killings.
bought
And the Ukraine has mobilized their reserves to take that city back. The Ukraine has extra added incentive to do this. The IMF said if you lose the eastern Ukraine, we're not giving you the
cabinet
$17
heads
billion.
all get this information.
Now, if Russia's playing this for
so
the
they can
money
write
and the rest of it,
speeches
you know, perhaps
to
they
handle the aftermath.
let the
of
Ukraine
these.
kind of come back in and take over these cities, get the
It
$17
would
billion
be
to
stupid
pay
think
off the
that
Ukraine's gas
news
bill,
is kept
then
undercover.
but
And
so anyway, unrest
15
between Ukraine
seconds
and
before
Russia
the
is
news
probably adding
hit,
some support too.
NYSE
Got pretty good support in the 75 area to 80, and
we've seen
the
that happen a
resistance
lot.
has started in the 95 to 1300.
We've got
so
resistance at 5, then again at 10 to 15.
This is where
so
support
3 to
is,
5,
and if the news takes us
will
into
be
these
sell
areas,
1,
and then we
where
can't
resistance
get through it,
is,
we can fade it.
and 8 to 10 will be
But
sell
once
2.
again, it's a newsday trade.
On the buy side, let's make it 90,
one of the things that you'll
93.
see if you've been in with the markets a long time, you'll see the market load up long or short.
85, 87. Pretty comfortable with the 85,
in front of a
87
major piece
because
of news.
High volume.
And most of the time they get it right, but every now and then they don't. They get a really, really
So we got a seller above 1300 and we got a buyer below 1280.
Play that game because you can be right 2 out of 3 times, but for a beginner or an intermediate trader, you don't have to take that extra risk. The other thing with the gold market, if the news has been leaked, gold usually a couple of minutes, 1 to 2 minutes before the news hits, starts its move.
Okay, crude didn't
so
break out
watch the gold
or break down today. It's holding its own.
In front of the news.
Had really great trading today. Wanted to sell 100, 100 and a quarter.
Has been leaked.
Started off wanting to buy 99, 99 and a quarter. We moved it up
some
to 99
people,
and a
some
quarter,
players
99.50.
in the market that can take advantage of it.
And had that.
Okay, crude's up a little bit.
And it was
Unrest between the Ukraine and Russia.
My feeling is, as long as we
behind
stay
it,
below
plus the
100
market
bucks,
has really been sold.
And that's countered by
if the numbers
what's
come
going
in
on
as
Ukraine.
forecast this morning,
So
it should
we'll
be
keep the
supportive
numbers
for
the
crude.
same,
More
sell
people
one,
going back
100,
to work.
100 and a quarter, and 50
more
to
miles
75.
being driven this summer.
On the buy side, I'm going to open it up a little bit to the downside because I'm a little more bearish on this.
So 2 factors:
on
unrest in Ukraine
situation, but
this morning's numbers.
Outbreak of fighting.
That said, crude doesn't always play the
Ukraine
fundamentals like you would expect.
Should make this trade higher.
It's a market.
There's skirmishing. People are getting killed. Shots are being fired. Equipment is being destroyed.
So we've got a resistance up here.
And like we said 2 days
150,
ago,
175, and we've got buying below
Ukraine,
99.
They couldn't get 17 billion without
support
retaking the eastern Ukraine.
Down here, so if we can't crack the 98.75, 99 area, it's a buy.
That changed
as long as this market stays below 100 bucks, it is a sell. And so right now, selling 100, 125 would be sell 1. Then the second sell would be 50 to 75. On the buy side,
Jimmy,
99 to 99 and a quarter.
The knob spread has been holding us in our length.
And then we'll make 50 to 75 buy 2.
Makes it pretty easy to buy breaks.
We can do this in crude because it doesn't really trade.
Okay, last but not least, the euro. The euro's traded up into its close. My guess is it's going to be higher in London. If it's going to be sold, it'll be sold in London.
Dances to
I
its
sure
own
would
drummer.
like to sell failure to take out 139 in London.
But you can be a little more bold.
I think we've got ourselves a 38.75 plus market and a 138 even minus market, and we're at the top of resistance. So let's put a sell
the euro
to 95 on the euro, and then 15
is off a little bit overnight. They're blaming it on Japan, but my guess is euro's taking a look.
On the buy side, I don't really like it, but we'll make 45.
The U.S. economy on a relative basis
for buy 1
is a little stronger than ours. Sell the euro, buy the dollar.
The other one lower. We'll make it.
This market has been much stronger than Draghi would like, and the other European financial ministers. They're trying to increase.
And that's all I have this weekend.
Exports outside of the
European Union. Going to be bathing the dog this afternoon, mowing the yard, getting ready for the weekend.
I've got this area right here, these single prints.
And we're supposed to be in the 80s tomorrow.
So 38.25 to 50 is pretty
going
good
from
support.
40 degrees, 45,
and we've really rejected prices
to 85
above 75. So
who would
75 to the buck would be resistance, and 25 to 50 would be support. And this will react.
You will turn off the other recording
with the news. And those are the two areas where I'd look to engage the market. Longer term, we've made a lot of money selling into 50, 75 tick rallies, and so selling failure to take out 139 this morning I think is a reasonable trade and probably the best fundamental structural trade that we have on the board today. And last but not least, the E-mini. A couple articles this morning said number beats expectation, E-mini rallies. Number doesn't beat expectation, E-mini rallies more because the Fed will have to support the markets further. This and automobiles are the two bright spots in the economy. The Fed had hoped that real estate would come back. All this support for the markets, all this increased monetary supply, all these low interest rates have been to reinflate real estate. They have managed to inflate food and energy costs. They haven't gotten it, and they've managed to keep the stock market up. They have not managed to get real estate turned around. And all the real estate being done is build-to-suit or government projects. There's very, very little spec real estate being built these days. And until that turns around, it's going to be hard to get the real estate sector going. And what does it take to get the real estate sector going? Jobs. And the economy has had a hard time producing those. We're at this 8250 area right in here is resistance. Then it jumps all the way up to 9250. So this is resistance 1. And this is R2. And the cash indexes have made new highs. And they're pulling the futures with them. So the NYSE reaction to the news is what will drive futures ultimately. If the numbers come in less than forecast, I would expect the market to get some quick selling. Then the issue is, are we going to generate follow-through selling? So if we get this great big fat bar and we don't extend the range lower in the day session, then you can pretty comfortably be a buyer, no matter what the news is. It's just you've got to produce follow-through selling, or shorts will cover and the high-frequency algos and traders will come in from the long side. So near resistance is in this 80, say 83, 85 area, and then 90 to 92. And those are the two areas we need to take a look at. Best support still is down here in this 65 area. And you've got a lot of activity right here that's cut it off. So the 65 area plus or minus is pretty good support. And I could take a shot from the long side if we were to happen to get it down there. That would be like 15 handle correction, and usually the market will pause. The attractor, another possibility, is this 70-72 area. So support 2 will be down 65, 67, and support 1 will be in the 70-72 area. And that's clearly within reach. So newsday trade, and once again, trading with the news reaction on that first correction to see if you can take out the high or low, whatever it might be, is a trade that we recommend. And if you're nimble and have the skills, it's a good one to take. It does carry extra risk, though, because you have to really, really be capable of making quick decisions. And the key is whether you get extension or not. And if you don't get extension, then you can fade the news move. It's a dangerous trade because you don't have trade location. It's a momentum trade. You know, I'm buying or selling because the market broke or rallied off this news, and we're going to see if it can take out the current high or low. The other way to trade it is let the move take care of itself. The first correction is going to find, like in this case, if the market were higher, would be looking for support, and then you'll see the amplitudes decrease steadily throughout the day. So you'll be trading development, you'll be a seller above development, and you'll be a 3 to 4 handles on the E-mini. A buyer for development below value of 3 to 4 points. At first, as the day progresses, it's going to get down to plus or minus 2. So know the news, you have the trade. It'll take won't take a long time to get stuff up and posted. I'll go get that done right now. We'll pick it up on the news. Be back in a bit.